There are numerous signs that suggest XRP is preparing for its next big rise, and I think there are some excellent swing trading chances if you plan to buy at lows and sell at highs. For the past few months, I have been doing this very well, and I will prove it to you all beyond a reasonable question. After that, I will demonstrate why I think what is happening is in fact happening. Since I post all of my trades on my Discord, which is entirely free for everyone to view, I just wanted to get started right away. I recently closed a deal of this nature. You can see another deal I made that was closed if you read up a bit more. Just a little bit more scrolling up will reveal another closed trade. One more, and as we continue to scroll upward, we see still another. And there are many. This contains everything of my trade history. Another one, 65%, is seen here. We go up here all the way. We can observe a further 50% and 48%. This is what I've been doing for months. In fact, this dates back to February. Even more longs closed, etc. are shown. Within my Discord server, there are countless deals. You can see that I genuinely understand what I'm talking about by looking at my complete trading history, which goes back to January. Even while XRP hasn't reached any significant new all-time highs in the majority of the time I've been sharing these trades with the Crypto Crusaders group, we have still made up to 400% in some months. The majority of months are typically 100%, which, when you actually total up those figures and compound them over a long period of time, is still completely crazy. And I'd want to show you all this. Right here is my BitUnix chart. And that's where I work my magic, you know? It doesn't go back very far, but you can see a few days in the past here, which is about as far back as Unix's history goes. Anyway, it's visible. All of these purchases are made on red days and on big green days. They are made on big green days, and they are sold on big green days. I buy in these markets whenever there is a good opportunity, and sure, I recently made another purchase. I do this like clockwork every single day. Because of what I'm going to demonstrate to you all in today's video, I'm preparing to make another purchase. Now take note, I'm not giving you guys financial advice at all. I'm just sharing my ideas, experiences, activities, and what seems to be working for me. This does not imply that I am offering financial guidance in this video. Get financial counsel from a licensed financial provider elsewhere if you desire it. Right now, or advisor. Having stated that, I consider a number of various factors when searching for a visually appealing XRP entry. First, the stochastic RSI is something I always like to look at. Naturally, I use other tools besides the stochastic RSI, but in general, I try to take profits and sell a lot of my holdings when I observe that the stochastic RSI is indeed overbought. This isn't always the case, though. As you can see, it was roughly here. Basically, it was over here. I only use the stochastic RSI to get a broad sense of market sentiment. When the stochastic RSI is oversold, I prefer to make most of my purchases, particularly on a beautiful big red day when we're almost oversold. It's a pretty powerful indicator. After that, I prefer to sell closer to our high. I too don't always understand things completely. I want to be really clear about that. No one does, but I enjoy making some good money, and I've been rather successful at it. Naturally, the FBB is the second item I always check here, and from what I can see at the moment, the bands are opening up and we are just breaching below a bottom support. As we can see, this indicates to me that XRP is currently preparing for potentially much bigger changes. Additionally, this bottom support line, the green line you're seeing, will continue to decline over time. Additionally, it's likely that the upper resistance line will soon begin to rise as well. This indicates that the probable lows and highs that we may experience are lower and higher, respectively. Any successful trader would love this. In essence, this implies that you have the chance to perhaps get extremely attractive cheap entries, and that you can take some pretty beautiful profits after it moves up. This is where I usually get those larger trades that I showed you guys that are 50% or more. When we see these bands begin to open up like this, of course, I made my first purchase as soon as we touched the support line right here because I could tell that we were breaking lower. And I don't put all of my money into one trade. I just want to start gaining some exposure. Simply complete a tiny percentage of my entire futures portfolio. In the event that we drop farther and touch the bottom support line once more, I keep adding more in the future. I then seek to sell when we see that reversal and begin testing the upper resistance line like we did back here. And I should say that this has been incredibly, really successful for me. That it has enabled me to earn a substantial sum of money and to positively impact the lives of numerous others with whom I share this information, who are also taking use of the knowledge and information that many of these indicators do offer. Therefore, while there are always risks involved in trading, you do have a significant edge over other traders who are merely winging it, relying on their emotions, and waiting for big news when you combine longer-term indicators like the stochastic RSI with shorter-term ones like the FBB and base your analysis on the two. As you can see, most novice traders are simply waiting for some significant news event to happen, and when it does, they go long. However, the markets frequently don't react as they had anticipated. And when they realize that their position is declining, they panic sell and lose money because they don't really understand many of the signs that I'm describing, such as when something is overbought or oversold, when we're at a bottom support line or a top resistance, and what typically occurs right after. As you can see, we tend to trail back up after hitting that bottom support line almost every time. Furthermore, we always return to the bottom support very quickly after hitting this upper resistance line down here. Therefore, you have a far higher possibility than others who are not using these techniques. That's really easy to say. And that's precisely why I believe that there will be some significant volatility and some really large swings at the moment, based on the data I've seen with these tools. Additionally, I believe there is a great deal of opportunity to succeed in these sectors if you make the most of it. Therefore, I am doing precisely that in my Discord group. I post all of my trades there, just like I was demonstrating to you guys earlier. Each and every transaction I make, mine partners and mine exchanges. I mentioned that all you need to do to gain access, which is incidentally free, is to use my website's referral link to join up for one of my 2 linked exchange connections. It is underneath BTCC and Enix, both of which offer incredible bonuses that aren't actually available anywhere else and that you can only obtain by clicking on my link. For simply depositing and moving cryptocurrency from one exchange to another, BNX is offering incentives of up to $8,000, and BTCC is offering a deposit bonus of up to $10,000. However, Enix also offers incredible trading discounts. I trade mostly on Bay 10X, but BTCC is also a fantastic exchange.